beginning.
At least for the beginning, yeah. Hello, everyone. We are now live, and I've got the awesome dynamic duo of Dave and Olive from Book Blather. And I just want to quickly introduce this channel. Hey, it's just the most delightful, welcoming, relatable, warm, friendly channel. Yeah, and Olive's always getting snacks and kisses from Dave. And they like to talk books, and they like to spread the joy of reading, as I say, every time. And yeah, I just appreciate the channel. They talk about a wide variety of genres and different kinds of things. Also, horror. I think Olive in particular enjoys a little bit of horror every now and then. Although I remember watching one video where Olive was into some of the more spicy stuff as well.
That's right. That's right.
You remember that video? Yeah.
I do. Sometimes she goes off the reservation, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Sure. But how are you guys doing? Welcome.
Thanks so much for having us. This is great, Cliff. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yeah, and I'd love to do it on your channel as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just tell us a bit about your booktube background, reading background, what got you into horror. And what I'm also interested in is, what is it about horror that interests you? Okay, we'll go there later.
Okay.
But first of all, just a bit about your background in booktube and reading.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, probably like a lot of people, it was kind of just like a spontaneous, non-planned journey into booktube, and ended up not being at all what I expected. You know, I used to just watch it. I wasn't even much of a YouTube watcher, but I started watching some YouTube because I was like looking. I used to read tons of comics. I still read some, but I used to read tons, and so I started watching. Yeah, I started watching some comic videos, and then I discovered, because of that, all these booktube suggestions started coming up, and I was like, oh, what is this booktube thing? So I was watching that for a couple of years, and then one day I'm just like, oh, let me just, I used to use Goodreads, like to track stuff. Yeah,
we're friends on Goodreads, aren't we? Yeah.
Are we? Yeah, maybe we probably are. We probably are.
Yeah.
I used to use that just to keep, I don't even use it much anymore, but I was keeping track of my stuff that way. And I really intended booktube to really just be like kind of, you only like, you just have a few friends on Goodreads. And I'm like, well, maybe I meant it to just be like a video extension of my Goodreads, and maybe some more people will see or engage what I'm reading. And it totally blew up. I did not really expect all the interactivity with subscribers and other booktubers and everything. I really had no idea that side of things, and it turned out to be such a pleasant surprise because I had originally just intended to put up like one wrap up video each month, and that was it, just to list what I was reading, just like on Goodreads. And I didn't know I'd be so engaged and make so many friends and start putting up so many videos. And I didn't even know Olive was going to be a part of it. What that first night, I'm just standing there doing, like, we probably all have our first like really crappy video where we're just like mumbling about what we're going to do, and she was just right there, like she always is. She's just right by my feet, so I just picked her up and I was like, oh, I made my occasional co-star, and then she ran away with the channel. So
Are you trying to say she's a star?
People don't come for me, Cliff. Yeah. I've had a comment or two about, came for the dogs, stayed for the books,
Yeah. Even though she reads some naughty stuff, I think people will. I'll never forget that video where you have a camera going through the house, and there she is on the couch, on a separate couch, with this magazine open or this book open, and it's something very, very spicy.
Yeah, she tries to secretly download the spicy stuff without telling me, right? You really like the spicy stuff, right? I bet you probably had a similar experience, right? Was your experience similar, Starbucks?
I did. Although, look, I've been watching for about maybe 3-4 months before I actually decided to make the video.
Yeah.
And in those 3-4 months, it kind of impressed me. And I was making a lot of comments in the comment section about different channels, and I just thought, yeah, this would be a fun thing to do, to talk about books, because at the moment the only person I talk about books with my wife. We both love horror,
Right.
but there's no one else really out there. So it's just so much fun to interact with other people, and just as you say, it's a lot bigger than you think when you go in there.
Yeah.
With all the comments you get and the friendships you make and all that sort of thing. So I had a similar experience in that way. Yeah, it was actually lovely.
Yeah.
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 Should we say hello to some people?
Sorry? Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Okay, that's my wife, my biggest fan.
Legendary.
Special hello to the legendary Olive. Yes. Hi, Angel.
Angel.
Okay. Greetings. How's it, William?
Hey, William.
And then we got Dr. Strange Freak.
Hello.
Hello. And we got Gareth. Hello.
Legend.
Thought I was going to miss this. I'm about to be picked up for a gig.
Oh.
Enjoy the gig, man.
Have fun.
Yeah. I just actually recently subscribed to Gareth's music channel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had that for the longest time.
No, I didn't know either. I actually listened to a song or two with my wife, and it blew us away.
Yeah.
Especially his kind of very mellow music. Such a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Then got
Hi, Heidi.
Children. Hi, Heidi. Let's go. Glad you're on. I'll watch your replay. Big hugs. Good, mate. Good luck with the gig.
Good luck. Have fun.
And then Alicia likes me to do this every single show. Yo. That's just the thing with it. I don't know why. That's where it comes from.
Probably don't even remember where it started, right? You know?
No, probably right at the beginning. I did some kind of yoga, and she liked it so much that every show I must do that. So I will. Okay, so tell me a little bit about what got you into horror and why, and what is it about horror that stimulates you, or what do you enjoy about the genre?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because until before I started BookTube, I don't think I read like a single. I'd have to think hard about it, but I think I didn't read a single horror book until a few years ago when I started BookTube. It's not a genre that I thought I was into, book wise. In fact, I tell you, I thought I didn't really get it. Actually, I'm like, and I like horror movies, but I'm like, I don't. Yeah, how can a book actually like scare you? You know, that was kind of like my attitude. I'd never read any. I think I had read a little bit of horror graphic novel stuff by then, but not novels. And I can tell you exactly why I got into it. When you first start BookTube, you get your group of a couple little friends that you run with, and so very early friend of mine on BookTube was Juan over at Plagued by Visions.
I still need to read his book, although I'm a little bit scared to.
Yeah. We met when we were both before he blew up, when we were both very, very small, very early. And so we were hanging out and chatting a lot and everything. And so he got me into it. He started doing these, the non-book club and stuff like that. And so I started reading these books, not just horror books, but in particular, like sort of like transgressive, disturbing stuff, and loved it. And I was hooked. It's now one of my favorite genres. There's so much that I still have to read in this genre. I mean, I say this all the time. You'd be amazed at the things that I have not read yet. Horror and otherwise, but yeah, I love it. I don't know. I just like to answer your question about what I like about it is, I guess I just like stuff that really pushes the envelope, like stuff that you just, a lot of these books, you're going to read about things that you're just in terms of their graphic factor, disturbing factor, or like, it's so outside of your life and so outside of who you are that it's, at least for most of us, I hope, that you just like you're just experiencing something completely different, you know. And I don't know. It's just I don't know. What do you like about it?
Yeah, no, it's the same kind of thing. You just
Yeah,
it pushes you. It really pushes you,
yeah,
and it's extreme, and
yeah.
you don't experience that in other genres, do you?
Right,
I mean, even fantasy, science fiction, there's a limit to what the author will make you feel.
right.
Whereas in horror, it's more extreme.
Yeah,
So, and you can go there, but in a safe space. You're
right.
reading a book. You're not like living the life,
Yeah,
and you're experiencing that danger and that extremity in a safe space.
right.
So you get a full range of different emotions. That yeah, that's something that really appeals to me.
Yeah,
And only recently, I mean, this year or towards the end of last year, have I read some of the more transgressive, disturbing stuff. Like some Jack Ketchum, things like that.
mm,
Before that, I was reading a lot of Stephen King, which we're going to talk about later, and a whole lot of other horror authors. But I
hmm,
haven't really, until recently, experienced a lot of extreme horror.
yeah,
And it really does push the envelope. I mean, that is, but for me, it's been a mixed bag because sometimes I think extreme authors they go there just for the shock value, um,
yeah,
just to make you, what the hell is this? Without actually having any kind of literary merit.
yeah,
I don't know if you agree with that. I mean, some of the extreme stuff that you've read, transgressive stuff, is it
yeah,
just for the sake of being transgressive, or is it actually good reading?
yeah. It depends on the book, right? I can name examples
Yeah.
of both. I think. Like did you read Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison?
No, not
Yeah.
yet.
So that's like super extreme, and I mean that book gets a lot of
I know what it's about. I have heard what it's about. Yeah.
yeah. And that book gets a lot of hate. I mean, it gets some love. It gets a lot of hate. I think some of it's unfair. I think he's a very good writer. He writes very well.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get. For me, I didn't really get the book because I like a lot of subtext and messages and meaning behind the story, and I didn't see really any of that there. Other than just two. I won't spoil the book, but other than just two people that are normally isolated, finding each other and comfort in that, But other than that, it was very surface level. There was no, but it
Yeah.
was super extreme, like among the most extreme I've ever read, and it seemed like it was, like I said, written well, but it seemed like the story was primarily for shock value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I will say that there are plenty of people that do, they'll like to read a story for the gore, and I think that for people that like that, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I had heard one time, I forget how she said it exactly, but she did it. Alex over at the Bookie Bus had made a comment
Oh
once.
yeah. She's a great channel. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
She had made this comment once where she said, "Why I don't understand why people say that. Like you never hear anybody say like, oh, this was like I forget the example. I forget something to the effect of like, oh, you never hear anybody say, oh, this was romance just for romance sake, or
Yeah.
or what. So why do people like say in a derogatory manner, oh, it's gore just for gore's sake? Like there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you like.
Well, I suppose if that's what you like, yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I think for me personally, I want a good story as well.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Me too.
so,
Me
so,
too.
so let me say I read one, or I tried to read. I might pick it up again. One book by Ross James White. Um,
Yeah.
that was Resurrectionist.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. That
And
was
I quit because for me it wasn't well written, and it became repetitive.
you
You know,
DNF'd it?
I DNF'd it. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yet I read Jack Ketchum's Off Season, and
Okay.
I found that absolutely brilliant, terrifying.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because of the writing, and it just was so visceral, and there was a lot of gore, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of very extreme content.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I might pick up Ross James White again, pick him up again. I just didn't find that story enjoyable on a personal level. I found it repetitive, and for me, gore for gore's sake, kind of torture porn.
Yeah.
And I know that people disagree with me. That's fine, but it's been hit or miss with me.
I
You know what I mean?
disagree with
Yeah.
you.
I've
Yeah.
heard before that you enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying you didn't like it. I didn't know you DNF'd it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that book. That was, you're right. That was like super, super extreme. But
Yeah.
I thought that I thought that book was really good conceptually. And I guess you're right. It could have been written probably a little bit better, but I thought it was fine. And
No, the idea is absolutely brilliant.
right,
Yeah,
right,
but I didn't like the characters.
okay,
I found them very dull, and that's an important thing for me because if the characters don't gel with me, as
yeah,
good as a story might be, if the writing doesn't gel, if the characters don't gel, I don't see any point in reading it.
yeah,
And I also find it kind of repetitive, like kind of he does his thing with the couple and then rinse, repeat.
yeah.
And I think there were some parts at the end that were that goes to other places, but I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was like, it was great. It was really great build of tension. Kind of ruined it in the middle with like this long unnecessary piece right in the middle of the book when they were like out shopping or something, but kind of destroyed the tempo a little bit. But for the most part, I thought it was really good exploring that really like unique sense of trauma, like knowing these
Yeah.
horrible things are happening, but knowing something's going to happen to you, but not
Yeah.
not being able to remember, like it was, I thought he did a great job with building that tension, but yeah.
Well, I might pick it up again based on your recommendation. I might give it a try again someday.
Yeah. If you do, maybe you know this already, but if you do pick it up again, you got to pick up. I would strongly recommend you get a more recent copy and not the old leisure edition, because White added. Did you know this? White added like an epilogue in the newer version, but the epilogue, it's not just like a little epilogue. It's like it's a very, very significant chapter that completely changes how it's very important. I don't spoil it.
Well, as a South African, I won't be able to get either. All of these more extreme books, I get on my Kindle.
Okay.
The only way I can get any of those kind of books is to import them, which is a lot of money.
Okay.
So I'm the kind of beggars can't be choosers. I take what I can,
Right.
and most of it's on my Kindle.
Yeah.
And it's also why you said, like, let's talk about some indie authors. We don't have a lot of horror indie authors in any of our stores.
Okay.
I have to buy them on my Kindle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just the way it is.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I would imagine the Kindle one's probably the more current version, right? I would think.
Yeah, probably. Okay, let's say hello to a few more people. Heidi says, Cliff, did I tell you Gaiman as a short story as its introduction to the first Elric omnibus read? Pretty bizarre in a good way. I'm not sure. Elric omnibus. Have you heard of that?
No. I don't know. I haven't read any Elric.
Okay. Have either of you read The Boys in the Valley? I want to.
No.
And Alex just picked it up as a book club pick for spooky season. I have heard it's a very, very good book. Very, very good.
Who's the author of that? Do you know?
I'm trying to think now. Heidi's going to have to remind me. She's going to have to remind me. Okay, usually the Kindle versions are up to date. Maybe not all of them. Okay. Angel says, Heidi, I've heard mixed reviews on Valley, but I want to read it. No, I've read one of these, Saculina. It's the same author, Saculina. And it's by Philip Procussi, I think. Yeah, Philip Procussi, yeah. Okay. Cliff, you don't have any local online sellers. That's how I make most of my book purchases. No, we don't. If you saw where I lived, you'd understand. Yeah. Okay.
Philip Fracassi.
Yeah. Philip Fracassi. Yeah. Boys in the Valley. I've heard it's really good. Okay. And the angel says Philip Fracassi. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Wrote it down. Every one of these lives, I always end up writing a bunch of stuff down. I learn about so much stuff this way.
You won't believe what I actually do. And I've done it for just about every live, no matter how long it is. After I finish the live, I go back on screen and watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
How insane is that? I don't know why.
You know what? I'll do the same. I'll do the same thing. I'll watch parts, but like when Gareth and I do the show, it's a lot of times it's like over 3 hours. So I'm not sitting watching that over 3 hours, but I'll watch parts of it again. Yeah. And I'll crack up again at our own video. I'll be like sitting there cracking up watching our watching the replay.
I'll watch parts of your and Gareth's video.
Yeah.
But I'll never watch it live because it's at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's always like bedtime for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Gareth's kind of unique. He goes very late because
he's a musician. He's a musician.
It'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning for him sometimes by the time we finish.
I don't get it. I don't get how he does
it. I don't think he sleeps very much.
Yeah, no. He actually said that during our conversation. I think there's a long time where he just doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
And then when he has a bit of space, he'll sleep. And I can't operate like that.
Me neither. Me neither. That's crazy. Crazy. But go.
Yeah. Ulrich is High Fantasy by Michael Walker. Okay. Michael Wallen was famous art, Stormbringer for Ulrich. Look it up on the internet. Best book cover art ever. Okay. I'll look that up. Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah.
Just didn't know who that was. Yeah.
So you mentioned Ketchum before. Have you? I forget. Did you read The Girl Next Door?
I still want to.
Okay.
I'm a little afraid to be honest.
Yeah.
I've heard some very hectic things about that book.
Yeah.
But I think if it's beautifully written, and I like Jack Ketchum's writing. I loved Off Season. So if it's well written, I'll go there. I'll definitely go there.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great book. It's I thought everything about it was great. You know what I mean? There was so much messaging. It was written well. It was really tense and upsetting. There was so much messaging in there, so much exploration in the several different characters, and it was great book. I mean, it's very upsetting. Just knowing number one, it's just upsetting. It's just an upsetting story, and knowing that it's based on a true story is like it's obviously really.
It gets you.
Just amps up the disturbing factor, But I mean, he takes some liberties with the real story. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty heavily based on it.
Yeah. I actually had to find an online library in order to read not Offspring.
Off Season.
Off Season. Yeah. I don't own a copy.
Okay.
I had to go to an online library in order to read that, and I can't get Jack Ketchum's Girl Next Door on my Kindle either.
Really?
That's not available in this country.
Wow.
There are all sorts of titles, extreme titles, that I can't purchase it on my Kindle.
Because they're extreme? They're
because they're not available in South Africa. There's obviously some kind of censorship, or I'm not sure what it is. But it's very, very frustrating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. No, that's too bad. It's ridiculous. Okay. Coffee break.
Have you always been over there?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Born and bred.
Okay.
I have traveled very widely. I'm very lucky. But yeah, I'm a born and bred. Sapphire, what they call us.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see what we got. A couple of other things here. For your information, Michael Wallen does all the art for King's Dark Tower. Okay. And we're going to get to that, people, because I've got an announcement to make. Okay. Jack Ketchum stayed true to The Girl Next Door. I read the true crime book too. Yeah. I do want to read it. I do want to read it. like I said, it makes me a bit uncomfortable, but I can handle that. I've read quite a bit of more disturbing stuff now that I'm okay with that. Yeah, but I'm not going to read extreme just for the sake of reading extreme. I want to read, you know, I want to enjoy it. I want it to be good writing, good characters, good setup. And I have read a couple of extreme novellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just shock and gore and everything. And okay, fair enough. Some people, that's what they like. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I want more to it. I want a story. I want characters. I want development. You know?
Yeah, me too. I think you'll find all that in The Girl Next Door. It's pretty. Yeah,
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that we talked about is we're going to have a look at some books, some book recommendations. Maybe I can give you a few old and new book recommendations for horror.
Yeah, definitely.
Recommendations. I don't know if you've got some there as well. But yeah, I'll start. And this is such an underrated author. And he actually died of AIDS-related illness I think in the 80s. But not before. He got some really good books out. This is The Amulet, Michael McDowell.
Michael
McDowell. Now, he's better known for a famous series called The Blackwater Chronicles, which I still want to read that. But he also has some excellent novels. He's got The Amulet. He's got Moon Over Babylon. Which is very, very good. And it's all very Southern Gothic horror tales.
Okay.
You know, you've got these settings and you've got the characters. They're very much rooted in Southern Gothic tradition. And like small towns that kind of all the characters almost turn against each other. He just does such a good job with that kind of horror.
Right.
So yeah, that's Michael McDowell. And then one I've talked about over and over again. I'm sure you've read him. Clive Barker, Books of Blood.
I have not. Can you believe that?
Have you not read it?
No.
Look at that cover. Look how awesome that cover is.
Yeah. I haven't read any of the Books of Blood. I got what's the name of it? I'm not going to remember now. I have a volume. Oh, The Inhuman Condition volume.
Yeah.
But I haven't read it yet. I thought about reading it actually. That was high on the list for this past Horror Mayhem, but I just didn't. I ended up reading Stephen King for my short story, so I didn't.
You read Skeleton Crew? I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Night Shift. Yeah.
Oh, Night Shift. Yeah. Night Shift. Well, I recommend Skeleton Crew. That's my favorite. That's the first one I read by him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it seems like a lot of people really like that's their favorite or one of their favorites of his collections, because he's got quite a few collections. I'm so non-educated on Stephen King, but he has quite a few collections, right?
Yeah, he does. And Night Shift was his first collection he wrote.
Right.
And then the second one was Skeleton Crew, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I like it more than Night Shift is just that he's writing, maybe it's because it's his second collection. His writing just seems a little bit more, what's the right word? It just seems a little bit more, not as raw around the edges, not as rough around the edges. I mean, Night Shift is a brilliant collection, but Skeleton Crew, it's almost like he just masters the craft a bit more. And there's hardly a story in that collection that I don't love. He's got some terrifying tales in there.
Yeah.
He's really good in Skeleton Crew. And I do love Night Shift, but I think he's got about 10 different collections. And those are probably in my top 5, both of those.
Okay.
I'm actually going to show you a collection of novellas just now as well.
Okay.
But first, let's show you another Clive Barker. This is a Damnation Game.
Okay.
And often in his lives, I've been talking about his dark fantasy, like Weevil, Great and Secret Show. This is his other horror novel, and this is his first novel that he wrote after the Books of Blood. So it was his debut novel, and I thought it gets a lot of flack, but I thought it was really, really well done, considering it's his debut novel. So that's a Damnation Game.
Yeah. I hadn't even read I didn't even read Hellraiser until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's a nice little novella. Yeah. Okay, and I've got another one that I have mentioned on this channel, and this is a very unknown author who deserves more attention. That's Mark Morris Toady. And there's some people on BookTube, like Kelsey from Slime and Slashes, who would rate this higher than it from Stephen King. Not so much, but it is such a fantastic story, such a great horror story.
What's that book about?
Yeah, it's about, you can compare it in some ways to it, but it's in like a small little coastal town, and you've got these boys that have this club called the Horror Club. And then this big kid, this overweight kid, kind of joins them, but you can see there's something very different and off about him.
Okay.
And he persuades the boys to have a seance in this little derelict house. You know, no one's been in, it's falling apart. And they have a seance, and they summon this evil that takes over the town. And it's just highly original. And they got to fight to stop this evil. But the world building and the creativity and the writing is just brilliant. That's a very, very good story. Yeah, you haven't read it, have you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. A book like that, I don't think I'll read until the day if and when I retire. So I'm too slow a reader. I really have to think very carefully about taking on books like that. I've wanted to read, Cliff. I have several copies of it here, several different versions of The Stand. I wanted to read that for years and years. You know, I love the miniseries, the old miniseries. But I got to think really carefully about that long of a book. You know, it's a big commitment for me.
Excuse me. Yeah, it is a big commitment. Big fat old books. Got a couple of other things here that you should write down.
Okay.
Now this is, where's that battery go? This is a big book, but it's it's a very big book. I've got a bookmark in here. I don't know why. But it is well worth your time. If you like any vampire fiction, okay, this is one of my favorite books of all time.
Okay.
Let's Let the Right One In.
Yeah. That's not that long, is it? That's on my list.
It comes in at 510, 515 pages.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nah, that's not. And the font in this one's not bad either. So it's not exactly a tiny font.
Yeah.
But this is brilliant. Highly recommend this book.
Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me. That's been on like my extended TBR for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one, Stephen King's son, Joe Hill.
Yeah.
And my favorite of his is Nosferatu.
Yep, I read that. That's really good.
Yeah, very good, eh?
Love that. That is long, but I really, really enjoyed that. I may have mentioned to you already. I'm not sure. Did there's a graphic novel prequel to that?
Yeah, you did mention it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to find it. That's all.
Oh, you can't get a hold of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be so frustrating.
That's so frustrating. When I was living in Johannesburg, big city, Joburg. Got out of there, thank goodness. But there was one shop that's now closed down that sold graphic novels. I got a couple of Clive Barker novels from them. They had comics, graphic novels. It was that kind of shop.
Right.
And then it closed down. I can't find anywhere else to buy anything. But it was incredibly expensive. It was like up to 1,000 Rand for a graphic novel. It's incredibly frustrating. I mean, in this bookshop we got up the road, you can buy a couple of Superman comics or Batman comics, but that's not the same as finding, Clive Barker or Stephen King graphic novels, which is what I want. Yeah. So frustrating.
God. Although for me, it would probably be good because it would keep me disciplined.
Keep you what?
It would keep me disciplined. It would keep me from going nuts with stuff, No,
well, I go nuts with all the other books.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I made a video recently on one of my favorite authors is Neil Gaiman,
Yeah.
and his most famous creation is Sandman, the Sandman comics. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I've read most of what he's written, but I can't find Sandman anyway, so I can't read Sandman.
Yeah.
It's graphic novels. Yeah.
So you can't order like the hard
I could
copy
probably
versions
order
of
it.
these online?
Yeah, I could probably find it online, but do I really? Oh, you mean like, and they have them shipped over to South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it costs a small fortune.
Just because of the shipping.
The shipping and also just it costs a fortune. So, also, I mean, you can actually buy graphic novels on Kindle, but I don't know. I don't see the point of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got here. Did you guys catch Criminally and Bookish Jane Reed yesterday?
Oh, no.
There's two corners of BookTube colliding. No.
I didn't know that was happening.
Is it on Criminally's channel or Johanna Reed's?
Looks like it was on Joanna Reed's.
Okay, well, I'll have to look up for that.
Yeah, I love all of them. I would have watched. I would have tried to catch that if I knew it was on.
Yeah.
To watch the replay.
So the problem is when you subscribe to so many people, right?
Yeah.
And you got limited time.
Right.
It's like what you watch, you know.
Right. I wish I could just sit and watch BookTube all day, but
yeah.
You gotta go work,
yeah. Most people don't know that there are 3 versions of the stand. Yeah. The extended version, I don't know about the third. I just know that there's a stand and then uncut version. I don't know about the third.
I knew there was the same here. I didn't know there was a third.
Yeah. Okay. Heidi says at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, John and Talking Stories having a live stream, and he loves cosmic horror. I enjoy cosmic horror as well. I still want to read The Fisherman. I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, me too. That's been on my list for a while. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I don't think it's that long, but
yeah. I bet you both have not watched him yet. Different Corners of BookTube.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, I haven't.
I have to go check it out.
There's so many horror channels that I still need to check out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Ronnie says, Cliff, do you watch the Sandman TV show? No.
Yeah.
I only kept watching as the lead actor had incredible charisma. I think it'll probably be on Netflix.
Yeah, I think
which we don't have anymore. I only really watch DSTV because there's rugby and there's cricket. I'm a big sports fan. So I don't really watch Netflix that much anymore.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out how much it costs to see if I get back again. Yeah,
I think I discovered this chatting with Gareth. There's these shows on different streaming services in different places, So I think that might be on Prime over here, on Amazon Prime, Sandman, but I'm not sure. But I keep telling myself I like to read stuff before I watch it, so I want to watch that show, but I haven't read the novels yet, so I have a couple of them that I picked up at book fairs and stuff, but I haven't read them yet, so I want to do that first.
Lucky you. Lucky you. But I think he's released so many now.
Yeah.
I think the Sandman is a long series.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to do it, I'd like to watch from the beginning, or I'd like to read from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then Jenna reads. I never met Ollie before. Yeah, not a great. Yeah, he's got a great channel there.
Yeah. It's all. Olive. Hey, what's going on? You sleeping? Everybody notices you're sleeping.
Here's your snacks. Here's your snacks, Olive. Here's your snacks.
Don't you want some water? Have some water. No? I got the fan going on her now, so she's all comfortable. She's right? Come on. You can't be sleeping. You can't be sleeping when we're live.
What's the matter with you?
Hey.
And Alicia says, Olive is such a good girl. Olive is such a good girl. Yeah.
Not at like 6 a.m. when she wants to eat, Alicia. She's licking your head.
And not when she tracks down some very naughty, spicy novels. Then she's
That's
not.
right. That's right. You don't know real Olive.
Okay, the 1980 paperback of The Stand had one change. The year setting changed from 1980. Okay, no. So the 1990 uncut version moved the setting year to 1990. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. We've got, hello.
Hey.
Who's that? Smiley faces. Olive has a secret off-air persona.
Yeah. I think
So,
people are, yeah. So
yeah, no, sorry, go on first.
I think sometimes people are might be surprised to like hear that she's a real nut job. She really is, and I think, but a lot of times when we're doing these videos, not always, but a lot of times she's very calm, and sometimes she's just laying her head on my lap. I think people think she's like a calm dog. She's not. She's she's a wacko, right? You're a wacko.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder that when you're actually feeding her those snacks, are you keeping her nice and calm? So what's in the snacks? Dave, I watch BookTube whenever my son is home. He has severe cerebral palsy. So while he watches his kids' show, I watch BookTube. It used to be MSNBC, but not since I discovered BookTube.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I spend the majority of my time watching BookTube. I watch some shows, but most of my time is because there's everything on it, not just BookTube, but other stuff too. I'll watch science shows or history shows or whatever. There's like so many different things on YouTube now.
Yeah. Every now and then I take a break and I'll rewatch a Game of Thrones episode or something.
Yeah. Have you watched the new one, The House of Dragon?
No, not yet.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't watched the new one either yet, but I'm going to. I think I was waiting. It's like a lot of these things. I was like waiting for my wife, and then eventually she'll tell me, "Okay, no, just go ahead without me," and I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I just did that. We were supposed to watch that Blake Crouch's Dark Matter show together. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. No.
Oh, yeah. And then finally she told me go ahead. So then I just blew through it, but it's.
But you like the science fiction, eh?
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more than horror.
I don't know about that actually. It's kind of weird to say, but when I think about it now, I probably read more horror than anything else, I guess. I never really. It sounds almost weird to say because I had never read horror for so many years, but yeah.
Well, just read more Stephen King.
Yeah, I definitely need to.
Yeah. Well, my wife has got a bit of a cheeky thing here. Says they say dogs take after their owners.
Fair enough. I think my whole family would agree with you.
So when you're not on screen, you've got a completely different persona.
Right? We're pretty wacky, right?
Yeah. Hey, Big L. How's the Big L?
Hey, Big L.
Okay. We're doing pretty well. Okay. Now, I actually wanted to recommend some Stephen King books to you.
Okay. Excellent.
And I'm going to, first of all, before I recommend one, I'm going to tell you, and this doesn't mean it's not a good book. This is the worst Stephen King book I've read. And I want to tell you why. We spoke before the show, and you say you like baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah? You like baseball.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. It might be an unpopular opinion. It's about a girl that goes into the woods with her parents, and she gets lost, horribly lost. And the only thing that can keep her company is a headphone set with this thing about Tom Gordon, who's a baseball player. Or this voice in her head. I don't know if she's got a headset. No, just this voice. It's her favorite baseball player, and he's he's keeping her company.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of baseball talk in the book that just went. So I don't know baseball. I'm South African. So yeah, this was a bit of a difficult one for me. But you might like it. I mean, and it's quite short as well. So
okay.
And it is popular for quite a few people.
Okay.
And then one that I love, one that I absolutely love, is The Shining, and I love its cover. I love its cover. This is a nice cover.
Yeah, that's a great cover. So that book, I heard this relatively recent. I think the book is quite a bit different than the movie, right?
It is very different, and that's a cause for concern for a lot of people. But I appreciate both of them for what they are. I think they're both masterpieces. I think the movie, the Stanley Kubrick, is incredibly well done, but it does veer away from the book in a number of important ways. I think the most important way, without giving any spoilers away, is right at the beginning of the book. In the book, Jack Nicholson is not normal. He's got his demons. He's got his problems. He's an ex-alcoholic, but he's trying his best for his family to make things work. I'm not going to say anything else because that's right at the beginning. Right at the beginning of the movie, it's supposed to be the same thing, but Jack Nicholson comes across as threatening. He comes across as a little bit psychotic. And I've got my girl right here with the ball. I can't put her on my lap, so sorry everyone, you're not going to see later. But anyway, yeah. So in the movie, that's one big problem. Then there are other things as well. And Stephen King did not appreciate what Stanley Kubrick did to the movie.
Okay.
Did not appreciate it at all. But I think they're both very well done. But just if you appreciate cinema, if you appreciate,
Okay. All right, I'll move that one up on my list. I have it. I have actually a handful of Stephen King books that I haven't read because I mean, you know me, I just pick them up. I get them for free or at fairs and stuff. We have a lot of. Do you have little free libraries there?
No.
See, I pass several just on my daily dog walks. So I'm like constantly. So anyway, The Shining I got for free. I just found it, and so it's sitting over there. But I'll move that up my list.
Move that up your list. I think you'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then there's also a sequel. Somewhere. I should have actually taken it down. Here it is. She's Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite a cool cover, which a lot of people actually like more than The Shining. So it's a better book.
Really?
But then a lot of people give it flack, but that's because they're expecting a follow-on from The Shining, and they don't get that. They're two very different books.
Okay.
That explore different things, but
What makes it a sequel? Is there a common character, or?
Yeah, I can't say more than that because it's.
Okay.
I can't say it's my girl. But yeah, there's a common character. I can't say more than that. It'll give away a spoiler. So
okay.
Really say that, yeah.
All right.
But it's still a very interesting book. Very good book.
Did you think Did you personally think it measured up to The Shining?
I like The Shining a lot more.
Okay.
But it's still a very, very good book, and I think it's underrated. And I think the reason it's underrated is because I just said people expect a direct sequel. The Dr. Sleep goes in a different direction.
Yeah.
But it's still very rich, great villains, great. It's a great story. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to read The Shining first.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm going to get to a collection of novellas, which is also very, very underrated and very, very dark.
Okay.
That is Full Dark, No Stars.
Full Dark, No Stars.
I absolutely love this, and it doesn't get nearly as much joy as I think it should. And the first story in there was made a movie or a miniseries. No, I think a movie, 1922. Have you heard about that?
I'm not sure.
It's about basically a father and a son conniving together to kill off the mother.
Okay.
And she's a complete and utter bitch. And
Okay.
they see no other choice but to do away with her. I'm not going to go further into it, but it's very dark and it gets very hectic.
Okay.
It's such a good story. Yeah. In fact, all of those novellas, I'm surprised that collection is not spoken about more. I think it's very underrated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what Stephen King's have you read?
Almost nothing. I read what have I read? I read the really short book, Elevation.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, it's not that great, but and I read I read some of Night Shift, and I think that is it. That's all that I read from him.
What are some of the favorite horror books that you've read? I mean, you've spoken about transgressive books. Do you read those more than just normal horror?
Um, um, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, a couple of my, I mean, when you say normal horror, you're talking about like horror slasher sort of. What do
Yeah,
you mean by
yeah.
normal
Well,
horror? Yeah,
Stephen King, not Stephen King horror,
yeah,
contemporary, whatever.
yeah. I mean, maybe more of the disturbing stuff.
Yeah,
My favorite ones. I mean, The Resurrectionist by Wrath James White is up there. Believe it or
yeah,
not,
yeah.
that's really up there high. The Girl Next Door is up there very high. I really liked one called uh, Bad Ronald. Have you read that?
Bad Ronald. No,
Yeah,
never heard of it.
Jack
Who's it by?
Jack
Jack,
Vance, I think.
Jack
Maybe.
Vance.
Let me double check. I think it's yeah, that was Bad Ronald. I think it's Vance. Yeah, Jack Vance.
Okay.
So that was a story that was pretty extreme, but it was pretty unique concept. That's about, so Ronald is like a really disturbed teen that lives just with his mother,
Yeah,
and something happens. I don't want to spoil it. Something happens, so she tries to hide him. So they build like a little room underneath like the stairwell for him to live
yeah.
in. So so that when people come around the house and stuff, they don't stay. She tells everybody he ran away. But then the mother dies, and somebody else buys the house.
Ooh.
And I won't say more than that. But he's a very disturbed young man. So yeah, that was really good, that one.
What's it called again?
It's called Bad Ronald.
Bad Ronald.
Yeah,
If I had a pencil here with me, I'd be writing it down on my notes.
good Jack fan. Yeah. But I think the ones that I pulled a couple of them over here, but my favorite, and again, I don't, like I said, I've only been reading horror a couple of years, so I'm not that well versed in it. But my favorite is somebody that's kind of known, but he's not big time, is Keelan Patrick Burke. Have you?
I've got him written down as an indie author I wanted to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I
great
don't.
mindset.
I assume you call him indie. Sometimes I don't know what the definition of indie is, but
Keelan Patrick Burke. Yeah.
Keelan Patrick Burke, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has a couple big, actually his biggest ones, like I haven't read, like I think like Turtle Boy and Kin, I think, are the ones that are like most well known. And I have Kin over there, but I haven't read it yet. But he writes mostly these novellas,
Yeah.
short novellas, and I've loved every one that I've read of his. It's the first one I read was this Blanky.
I read that recently.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
what'd you think? Yeah,
incredible.
Right?
And it really gets freaking cosmic and dark, eh?
Yeah.
He goes to messed up places with that book, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's really good at I think at exploring, like people's like descent into madness or just the state of insanity, I think he's really good at that. And I think Sour Candy. Everybody knows that one, right? Same thing, right? Like just exploring that sort of descent into, but from a very different angle, right?
Yeah. Now I found that one very, very messed up, very disturbing.
Yeah, that one's good. There's there's a graphic novel version of that now too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool seeing some of that imagery,
Yeah. I wish I could find it.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't know. I feel like maybe I got to try to send you it. So it would cost me like a fortune to send you something.
Yeah, and also it's not just that. I actually put my wish list on.
Yeah.
And then I changed it to just because apparently I put all the books on paperback and whatever, and you can see the prices for Amazon. It's like double the price to ship it here.
Yeah.
And then people couldn't do it because you need all sorts of special permission to go into South Africa. So you needed, Amazon wanted this and this and this from me, apparently. And so it's impossible. And even getting a Kindle copy for me, if it's not available in South Africa, you can't transfer onto my Kindle. So people were trying to do that, and they said they couldn't help me. So I've just decided, forget it. I'll just leave the wish list off now from my video because people can't, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just the way it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, I'll buy what I can buy and enjoy it. Yeah, but that's one of the cons of living in I wouldn't call it a third world country just yet, but it's moving that direction.
Yeah. Oh man, that's got to be so frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, these are well, you're able to get your hands on the normal Keelan Patrick Burke books.
No, well, I haven't found them. Maybe they're in maybe if I go back to Joburg and look in a bigger store, I might find some of that. Yeah. But the smaller indie authors or the smaller authors, self-published authors, nah. You'll find a lot of Stephen King, Dean Koontz, all that stuff. You won't really find a lot else.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I'm not going to show you any more of these then, because you're just going to get upset.
You're just going to make me sad, yo. Have you heard of an author called Chad Lutsky?
Yeah.
I rave about him all the time on my channel. Yeah. He's very, very kind of horror light.
Yeah.
But I love him because it's like a kind of coming of age. He's an excellent storyteller, and it's just dark enough that it really appeals to me. And he has got some pretty good dark stuff out there. I wrote a book called I read a book called Skullface Boy by him, and it just blew me away. Yeah,
I picked up one by him, but I haven't read it yet. I actually picked it up like 2 years ago. I still haven't read it, but it's called something under the sheets or something. The sheets.
Yeah, stirring the sheets.
Stirring the sheets. Yeah,
that's an unusual one. That's a very unusual one. It's not typical of him.
Oh,
but it's about older man.
Yeah,
and he's lost his wife,
right.
And he can't let go. I think he's lost his wife about a year ago, and he doesn't even make up her side of the bed. He can't let go. He's really struggling to live his life, and he works in a funeral home. So one day in the funeral home, he finds a body. He's got full access to everything, and he finds a face that looks just like hers, and he decides to take the body back home with him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go to places you would expect and another writer would take it.
Right.
It's not so much a horror, it's very bittersweet and sort of a very sad story, a sad horror story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it. I mean, it's something completely different.
Yeah.
And you could also tell if you like his writing or not. But I love him. I haven't read a bad book by him yet.
Oh, okay.
And some are a lot darker than others. I read this one called Wormwood, which is pretty dark.
Okay.
And there was one I've just read recently. Can't remember what it is, but he gets pretty damn dark.
So him, you have no trouble getting his books over there.
No, all on Kindle.
Oh, okay. Huh. I guess
Any new?
I guess the censorship police are not super
I don't know.
good at their job, huh?
No, they're not. No.
Oh boy.
It seems like anything that's indie or a little bit alternative or whatever, it's difficult to find here.
Yeah.
I mean, I have found some good books in my little secondhand bookshop,
Yeah.
but mostly vintage stuff. Like this is difficult to find, even in America, even in Great Britain. But I
Okay.
found this in my secondhand vintage shop.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the new authors, a lot of the indie authors and self-published authors, I'm not going to find here.
Yeah.
For some reason, whatever reason, yeah. But it's okay. I've got a Kindle. I can manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's another I don't know if you've tried her yet, another great indie author, I think. I've only read two or three, is Laurel Hightower. Have you tried her yet?
I have.
Okay.
And I read Below.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it, but I found the ending a bit of a letdown.
Uh-huh.
So it got like 3.5 stars for me.
Okay.
But I've now recently bought I think it's Mapping the Interior
By Stephen Graham Jones?
Oh no, that's it. Yeah. But another one, about the woman who loses a child. Yeah, Crossroads. Yeah. I'm planning on reading that next month.
Yeah. I enjoyed both of those. Crossroads is better. I thought that book was brilliant. I mean, that was one of the best books I read that year.
Okay.
It was I thought it was really good. I thought he did masterfully. It's one of those things. Again, she just very slowly builds up that you just like falling down this rabbit hole with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like it's crazy, but like you totally empathize. You totally get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's I won't say anything else, but it's really good.
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I thought Below was brilliant up until the point right at the end where it was kind of, there were so many things left unsaid, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you know. It was almost like I didn't like the way that it closed off.
Okay.
But I still enjoyed it, 80% of it. So it's just,
Yeah. She's had a couple. She's got a little bit stuff since that I have not tried yet that I gotta get my hands on.
Yeah, there's one other author that I really like, Hailey Piper.
Yeah, I haven't tried her yet.
LGBTQ. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but there was one book by hers. It was a collection of short stories called "The Unfortunate Elements of My Anatomy."
Okay.
Yeah, and that blew me away. It was very, very good.
Huh.
I said, give it a try. Yeah, and I know that she's got The Worms and the King, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to read that soon.
Yeah. I've been meaning to try her. Just haven't got to it yet, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard, Cliff. It's just like not enough hours in the day, you know. Like I need to win the lottery so I can just spend full time reading books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I need to win the lottery so then I can pay for whatever imports. Just get all those books, graphic novels, get them all. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
I start my own bookstore.
So that people can actually get the things that they
want.
Haven't been able to get. Yeah. And so I guess these bookstores probably also, you can't even, some of the stuff you can't even ask them to order it for you, right? They wouldn't be allowed to. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe might be an idea, but it's going to come down to money. Well, I mean, just one graphic novel to get it imported, I think, would be quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes. That's crazy. But I want to get to a point here. First of all, I want to recommend my favorite short story collection.
Okay.
Have you ever read Dark Forces?
No. Dark Forces, Kirby McCauley.
Yeah. It's got Ray Bradbury, Ramsey Campbell, Robert Bloch,
Oh wow.
Carol Oates, T.E.D. Klein, Richard Matheson, Stephen King,
Wow.
Paul Wagner. This is a superb collection.
Who's the
Called
editor again? I forgot already.
Edited by Kirby McCauley.
Kirby McCauley. Okay.
Yeah, this is my favorite. I'm just showing you my favorite. Yeah, there's so much quality in this book. So much quality.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of heavy hitters there.
Yeah, no, there's some big hitters there.
Yeah.
What is compilation that you like?
That's a good question. I mean, I would probably say Keelan Patrick with one of these Keelan Patrick Burke ones. This Dead of Winter. This was really good. This had one of the most disturbing stories in it that I've ever read.
Okay.
But I don't want to get you upset, so I'm trying to. I don't read a lot of short story collections, but I'm trying to recall. Yeah, I don't read a lot of short story collections, but that was a really good one. That was a really good one. I mean, I've been working my way through, or working my way. I mean, like I read some of it last year. Was some of Lovecraft anthology. So I mean, I still have a lot of that to read, but I really enjoyed the stories that I read in there so far.
Lovecraft is great. Call Out of Space, The Shadow of Innsmouth, my favorite. Yes, he's written a lot of really good ones, but he's also written a lot of really bad ones.
Yeah, is that right?
Well, in my opinion, yeah. Some of his earlier stuff is just, yeah. Okay. I like a lot of his work, but I've read enough to just. Rats is pretty good. No, he's written some really good stuff.
No,
but yeah, some of his work is also a little bit problematic.
Yeah. You mean like in terms of the racist stuff?
Oh, yeah. There's only one story that really stands out. I mean, I suppose all his stuff is kind of misogynist. I don't know.
No.
But there's that book called The Ballad of Black Tom.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and that was just a retelling of one of Lovecraft's old stories.
Oh.
Which is particularly racist.
Okay.
The Horror at Red Hook. Yeah, you read that, The Horror at Red Hook, and then read The Ballad. So this author of color says he actually respects Lovecraft. He respects what Lovecraft has done, but he wanted to redress what was in the story. So he took the story and flips it around and makes the protagonist a black guy.
Okay.
And it's actually very good. This was a good novella that I read last year.
Okay.
The Ballad of Black Tom. Actually really good. Yeah. So look out for that.
All right. Yeah. Put that on the list. I've seen that, but
you've seen it? Oh, you've seen it like on the shelves?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad book. It's pretty good.
Okay,
I've got a comment here, Cliff. Sometimes I rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies when I need to mix it up. I love Dark Matter. The finale is next week. Yeah. I also think I've watched the Lord of the Rings movies about 5 times. I love that. Yeah. We got the extended edition.
Yeah.
And I actually was lucky enough that I took a tour to New Zealand.
Okay.
And I went on a tour to some of the places where they filmed the scenes.
Oh, wow.
Hobbiton and going over the mountains. And so it's in South Island, New Zealand. I took a tour. So it was very cool, yeah.
Very cool. That's cool, awesome.
Yeah. Okay. And talking about totally awesome, should we talk about my plans?
Okay.
My plans to do a reading event with you with the Gun Tower and the entire Dark Tower series, from the first book to the final book. I think it'll be a little bit much to ask to go through every book that has every reference to the Dark Tower. Let's not go there yet. let's just do the actual Dark Tower.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 7 books, and maybe starting in, I don't want to start in August, maybe September.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then do September, November, January, every second month.
Yeah.
And then we have like a little bit of a live show about that book.
Yeah.
And then it gives everyone a chance to read all of them within a 2 months time frame for one book, because some of them are very thick. So yeah, that's good for readers. So what do you think of that?
That'll be fun. I've wanted to read this Dark Tower. I've got the first couple over there, and actually I just put them over here. I actually have multiple versions of Gunslinger.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, I've been meaning to read it. I actually one time started the Gunslinger on just sitting on the beach, and I only got like 50 pages in. So need to restart. But yeah, I've been wanting to go through that series for a while. So I think that's a good place for me to start for get going on Stephen King, because it's right, it's a little sci-fi and
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything sort of mixed up. Yeah. My wife's actually busy with the Gunslinger right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
she also gets very, very, very busy, so she doesn't have as much time to read as I do.
Yeah.
But she's enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that whole thing about doing one book every 2 months or so.
Yeah.
Or maybe for the Gunslinger, we can just give that 1 month until we get to the thicker books. See how we feel.
Okay.
Yeah. And my other option, I'm not going to start this year, I don't think, because I want to read fantasy, but I don't want to take on too much right now. And that is Dragonlance.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of maybe sometime next year we can do a Dungeons and Dragons nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
So we can read Dragonlance, and we can read other stuff that's related to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd love to get back into more of that stuff, and I definitely want to reread the original Dragonlance series for sure.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun.
That'll be a good time.
It's funny how comments have absolutely dried up.
No, I'm seeing a whole bunch here.
Oh, okay. Hey, gents. Hey, Big Al. Hi, Big Al. Thanks for liking my favorite fantasy books. Yeah, Big Al's a fantasy expert, science fiction expert as well. Can never go wrong with Lord of the Rings. You're welcome, Heidi. There was a 1990s TV miniseries of The Shining, More Faithful. Yeah, I heard that.
Really?
Okay. I heard this TV series was small. Yeah. Okay, Heidi says, I love the Tom Gordon book. I read it while I was obsessed with baseball in the 90s. So it was perfect for me. Dave may remember those Yankee years too.
In the 90s, yeah.
The Yankees.
Yeah.
William, that actor, Stephen Redden, was running your favorite TV star from the show Wings. Harry Potter lived under the stairs too, like Bad Ronald.
That's right.
But I have a feeling that Bad Ronald is not going to be as well behaved as Harry Potter.
Definitely not. Bad Ronald Weasley.
Bad Ronald reminds me of Sarah's Key, where they hide their son in the wall, but the Gestapo takes the family away and he's stuck there.
Oh, I'll have to ask. I think my wife read that book, Sarah's Key. I have to ask her about that. That sounds like an interesting story. Huh.
Toadie is very hard to find in person. I was lucky and found a copy of Stitch. I'm looking for Stitch. I'm looking everywhere for Stitch. You read that one? No, I want to find it. Because Toadie is the first book that he wrote. And now Stitch is, I think, the second. I really want to get hold of that. Good to see your friendly faces.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Hey, Jim.
Was it hey, Jim? Cliff, just stop at book 4 with regards to the Dark Tower, then finish the series. Thank you.
In August 2025. Wow. Wow.
That theme, man. No, it's not that bad. I've read the entire series already. I'm rereading it. Okay. Live shows that might actually prompt me to read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, William. Shots fired, Heidi.
I guess he disagrees. Book 4 was in the last.
It's S tier.
King got hit.
Then King got hit by that band. Yeah. I like every single one of the books in the Dark Tower series. Even book 4, Wizard and Glass. Oh, it's amazing. It's like a backstory. I'm not going to talk about it because, yeah.
Oh, so that's the time when Stephen King got in the accident? The
bad
he got in
the accident, yeah. But I like all the books. Yeah.
Oh.
Heidi's throwing the shade.
Oh, we got a battle going on here in the chat.
How's it, Pat?
Hey, Pat.
Yeah, we got a little bit of back and forth going on here.
We like to keep it exciting here in the chat.
Yeah.
Lost track of Dark Tower during the wait.
I lost track of Dark Tower during the wait between books 3 and 4. Just remember the good times. Yeah, you see, what happened actually is that he didn't. Yeah, I think it was actually after book 3 that he had his accident.
Mm-hmm.
Before book 4. Yeah. And the thing is that book 3, it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to say what the cliffhanger is. And so a lot of people got really, really upset because they had to wait for so long for book 4 to come out to actually resolve that cliffhanger. Whereas I only read it later on in my life, so I had all the books lined up. So it didn't matter to me. I just went straight from book 3 to book 4. But I can believe that really upset a lot of people, if you can imagine. That you have to wait for 4 years or something just to find out what happened next.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difficult thing with. I mean, you're dealing with authors they're just people, not machines, and sometimes it's it's like with Game of Thrones. All right, all those people they'll never get their ending to Game of Thrones, one of the famous fantasy series of all time.
Yeah. I plan on starting the Dark Tower series next year for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. Alicia, you'll love it.
You can start in September with us.
Yeah, start in September, exactly. I'm actually going to, I think in August I should make an announcement video. Right?
Yeah.
I'm interested in the odd book in the middle, Dark Tower book, The Wind Through the... I love that book. A lot of people give it a lot of hate. And you'll start finishing it before me, Alicia. Maybe not. Okay. No, it was after book 4. Was it? Okay. You know King better than me then, Heidi. I sent King a letter while he was in hospital telling him how much I loved Wizard and Glass. It is a beautiful book. And it is one of the ones that you either love or hate. And without giving anything away. Okay. What people don't like about it, the people that don't like it, it kind of takes a pause on the journey. That's all I'm going to say. It pauses. So, and a lot of people didn't like that. Yeah. Okay. Could buy them all at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. Yeah, it's a beauty. And that's the thing. I don't buy a lot of new releases. I don't know if you do. Do you read a lot of series?
No, I don't. Really. No.
Yeah. Great point, Jim. Yeah.
It's good for TV shows too. Just come on after it's mostly over, and you can just binge watch it.
Well, that's what I did with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And my wife can't stand that series because the cruelty and all that stuff that happens.
The TV show.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, despite all the nudity and the cruelty and all the stuff that happens. But that was very true to that era, that time.
Yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant series.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I haven't read the books, but my wife and I watched the series together.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, except the end. I mean, I think I'm not alone in
No, you're not alone. You're not alone.
I mean, that was pretty horrible, but
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, that's his own fault, right? We'll see if he seems a little more motivated now to try to finish it, but to fix all that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'll wait to start that series to see if it ever happens.
Alicia says, I love the cruelty of Game of Thrones. I'm just waiting for my wife to pop in here that she can't stand that.
So you ended up watching most of it yourself, or did she still watch it?
Yeah. No, she was outside with some other series, and I would sit inside and watch it.
Okay.
And every time she came in, I would stop her if there was something that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And never mind the beheadings. I mean, talk about that one character. Oh, it's terrible. What is that character? And I'm not talking about that king, that little blonde piece of crap. Joffrey.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm talking about that other character, the one, also the young, that becomes, such a sadist. You know what I'm talking about?
Not Joffrey, a different one?
Yeah, someone else, yeah. And what he does to that person.
Oh, yeah. What was his name? Yeah.
Someone will tell us, I'm sure. Someone will tell us. But yeah, he was the worst than Joffrey.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Yeah. He was bad.
He was terrible. The dragons, he was 2 or 5 blood. At least it's not been 13 years. Well,
Ramsay,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, he was terrible. He was such a sadist.
Yeah.
And what he does to that poor guy. Oh,
unbelievable what he does to that kid. It just shows you the power of right? What is it? I don't know if you'd call that Stockholm syndrome, but just the power you can end up wielding over somebody by putting them through experience like that.
Yeah. It's sort of like Stockholm syndrome, eh?
Yeah.
At least he kind of fought through it in okay, without saying anything.
Spoilers.
Hey, at least I'm not here talking about some Dark Tower spoilers, because there's some serious things I could say there. Ramsay Bolton. That's it. Yeah, Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that house that my wife. That's another one my wife told me I'm gonna have to just go watch that one myself. She's not moving on to that show. Who's read House of Dragon in the chat? And are you liking it? Because I'm thinking about starting soon.
I can't believe that I haven't started it. I need to actually watch that.
Yeah.
The Last War. But then we're going to have to actually get Netflix again, because I think it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix over there.
No, I'm hoping it is, because that's all we got. DSTV and Netflix.
Oh, that's all you have? You don't have Max?
This is South Africa. DSTV is our main kind of, movies and sport, but they don't give you a very good package. And then Netflix, I don't know. I'll have to see if they've got that.
Huh.
Pick up The Last War. This book has the cruelest character I've come across.
You should pick up The Last War by Mike Shackle. The first book has the cruelest I've come across. Huh. Interesting.
Okay. The Last War. I might look into that as well.
Mike Shackle.
We will never, ever watch Game of Thrones. I'd rather torture myself listening to the song 100 Miles over and over. That's another thing. There's two songs that torture her. I don't know if you know. I think it's a Proclaimers, isn't it? I will walk 100 miles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She can't stand that song. She cannot stand it. And then there's another one as well. I can't remember what it is, but I won't sing it live because I'll get in trouble. Yeah.
Well, speaking about cruelty, are you a Walking Dead fan?
Never watched it.
What?
I haven't got around to watching it.
Oh.
I don't watch a lot of TV. Dave, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But I would like to see it sometime. I heard it's very good.
Wow.
I used to play a lot of games. Now I do booktube and very little else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First season of House of Dragons, I liked it. Only be on HBO Max.
Yeah.
What is that? HOTD?
House of the Dragon? Is that what that is?
Oh, House of Dragon, yeah. Turns out I always have that series on my TV. Oh, I haven't started it yet. Yeah, I need to watch a few more of these epic series.
Yeah.
It is fantasy, so your horror books may have topped that character. He is worse than Ramsay Bolton.
Oh, she's talking about the last war. Yeah.
Yeah. Who can it be now? Yeah. Who can it be?
That's a classic, Anita. What are you talking about?
I'm going to get in trouble after this.
Cliff's going to be playing that on the stereo all afternoon now. Who can it be now?
You know what the funny thing is? We went shopping the one day, and I had to laugh at her because we went shopping and they were playing that on the speakers as we were walking through. She was having a heart attack. She couldn't stand it.
No. Gareth posted a funny, maybe it was on Instagram or something. He posted a cool shot the other day of he went to the store. I don't know if it was a bookstore or what, but he went to a store and they were playing his song on the radio in the store. Yeah. That must be pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Can never
figure out these weirdos at a game of weddings.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing either.
Hopefully not red wedding themed wedding.
Yeah, hopefully not. Daughter's War out this upcoming week. Willman did a recent interview, Science discussing all things black tie. Last comment for Alicia. I'm looking forward to that one, Heidi. Okay. Oh, caught up with all the comments. I don't know what happened. I think I didn't see them, or I was scrolling down on the right there, and I was in the wrong place.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're pretty diligent. I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, wow, no. Cliff's getting kind of behind here.
Well, people are going to leave comments, Yeah, be good about that.
Yeah, I'm so bad about it because you get taught, like we get way behind on our show. I feel really bad about it sometimes, but you get talking and you just
Yeah, but some people don't even pay much attention to them. Yeah. But I like having my little audience chatting and answering comments.
Yeah, it's great having everybody engaged,
Yeah. Okay, this is.
Okay. Uh-oh. Looks like we might both be in trouble here. Oh, we are both in trouble.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Who can it be now? Okay, I just can't stick around, guys. Wanted to say hi, Cliff. We'll talk soon about doing it live in July sometime. Yeah, Jim, that'd be awesome.
See you, Jim.
Yeah. Sorry?
I was just saying, see you, Jim. Thanks for coming.
See you, Jim. Thank you very much. No, it'd be awesome having a live with you. It'd be great. We'll do it in July sometime. We're kind of talking on Goodreads about doing that. Some booktubers never even read live comments. Yeah, but why not? It's the whole point of having an audience is interacting with them, right?
Yeah. mean, we get really behind, but we make sure we get to them all for sure.
Oh, she's leaving now. No, I'm in deep crap now. Okay. Please spare Oliver, Nita. Yeah.
What do you think?
What was the other song? What was the other song again?
100 miles.
I will. No, we'll stop that now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1,000 miles, right? Isn't it 1,000
I
miles?
would walk 1,000 miles, I
Miles.
think.
Yeah.
No, it's 100 miles, isn't it?
I don't remember.
I think it's 100 miles.
Maybe we should sing. Maybe we should sing both renditions so Anita can tell us which one's the right one.
Like she says, yeah, she's not going to harm Olive. She's going to adopt Olive.
No.
No, cute, cute. That's what Olive thinks about that.
She's so good, right? You're always so good. You always just sit there.
I'll
And hang
let
out.
you choose. Olive, a great friend. Says, I'll let you.
Oh, Al's right, I think.
I'll let you choose your grave spots. Oh, it's 500.
Yeah, that's right. 500 miles. And I would walk 500 miles. Is that right, Anita?
Be the man. No, I've got to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to be sleeping in the streets tonight. Never mind the dog box. I'm going to be out the gate. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
One thing I wanted to ask you as well, like, talk about some favorite movies, some horror movies that you like. Because you did say you watch more horror movies than books. And I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do the thing with Gareth. You do this thing with Gareth where you do favorite movies on a desert island.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't done that yet. He hasn't invited me on that yet, Cliff. Can you believe that?
He hasn't invited me either.
Yeah.
I haven't even been on your show yet. I want to be on your show.
Yeah, we definitely got to schedule that. But you might need to stay up a little late though. That's the hard part. But just you got to bring a lot of coffee.
Yeah. No, that's.
Yeah, movies. So I watched one recently that was I meant to talk about this on my channel, but I forgot about it. It was called The Coffee Table.
The Coffee Table.
Yeah, I think
a horror movie.
It is, but it's different. It's like it's a very disturbing sort of. It's horror, but it's not like hack slash horror. You know, it's more of like it's a psychological horror, but you can like really feel it. So it starts. So the first thing is it's Spanish. It's very recent. I forget 2023, 2024.
Subtitles.
It's Spanish, so it has subtitles, which normally I would not watch a movie with subtitles because I don't, but I had just read about this movie. And when I always read those articles, like, the greatest 80s sci-fi or the most disturbing horror movies, I always read these things and I save the links. And that was on there. It had said something like it was one of the most unsettling movies you'll ever see. So I said, okay, I need to see this. And so I watched it even with the subtitles, but it didn't bother me. I actually forgot about the subtitles in like 5 minutes because it was had a very slow tempo. It was a very quiet movie. So I totally forgot about it. So it was fine. There's not a huge amount of dialogue. And, but it starts out, I can't say too much because it spoiled it, but it starts out with this wife and these new parents, a wife and husband that are in like a furniture place trying to, arguing about this. Salesman's trying to sell them this coffee table, and they have total disagreement on it. And it's exactly what you'd expect. It's like this gaudy, it's like a glass tabletop with these like female golden figures underneath, like totally the type of thing that you and I would like and our wives would hate, So they're like they're totally arguing about this. The guy like puts his foot down and he like this is like the one thing he's gonna make a stand about because she dominates like the relationship, and he buys the coffee table, and that just starts out it changes their lives. And I can't say any more than that, but it's for the most part, it's not. There is something that there is one of the most horrendous things that you will ever see in a movie. But most of the movie is not that. Most of the movie is just like this like psychological terror, and
it's kind of thing that's kind of thing my wife really enjoys, that kind of psychological stuff.
Yeah,
It was really, really good.
Yeah. It's so yeah, it was true to what the article said. It was definitely one of the most unsettling things that I have seen,
Okay.
But I would recommend it if
Yeah.
if you can handle hard things.
Yeah. I think the only thing I can't handle and my wife can't handle when it comes to horror is we hate, this kind of new wave French torture, home invasions.
Yeah.
As bloody as possible. I can't stand that because
Yeah.
we had a situation in Joburg where we were invaded.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were sleeping, we were drugged, and they took everything, including
Oh my
Layla.
God.
Drugged. Yeah, Layla didn't bark because she was drugged, and they came and took everything. So that traumatized us a bit. One of the reasons we actually came down to the coast. Yeah.
Wow. So they
hectic,
just like slipped into your house and just like
No,
injected you.
they have this thing like where they look for an open window. It's a known thing, and they slip this like hose pipe in, and they burn something, kind of puts you dozy and puts you to sleep. And we woke up the next morning feeling drugged and realized they'd taken everything. So I had no doubt that we were drugged. Yeah. So that was pretty hectic. Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. I'm sorry that happened, man.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's over now. But it's just one kind of movie, a horror movie that disturbs me to the point where
Yeah, that's the real trigger.
like those strangers. What's that movie? Strangers. They wear the masks. They come into the house. That kind of thing. I don't like at all for some reason.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably my only trigger.
Yeah.
And also just, I think with my wife, if there's something very, very cool in the movie. I don't know if you've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
I have not.
It's more a fantasy, dark fantasy. But there's some scenes in that movie that are so cruel. There's this father who's so sadistic, and he kills this guy. But I won't go there. But that kind of gets too much for yeah. There's some good movies, and you talked about a Spanish movie. Have you seen Rec? Also, the subtitles. That's a kind of zombie movie, not really.
Oh.
And it's basically there's something wrong in this apartment block, and this woman, and it's found footage, right?
Okay.
So the reporter goes in with her crew and with some emergency workers because there's apparently a woman trapped in one of the apartments, and they go in there. So it's very claustrophobic. You know what I mean? You're going from room to room down these little corridors and everything, and there's an infection. But the way that it's shot, it's kind of horrifying. We both enjoyed that one.
I think I might have heard this.
There was an American remake, but the original Spanish one is actually much better. Very, very good.
Do you know is the American version have the same name?
It might, yeah.
Okay. So it was called Rick, R-I-C-K?
No, R-E-C, capital letters.
Oh, I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll check that out. That sounds like my kind of movie. I love everything zombie.
I'm the same.
One of my Yeah, oh, okay.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
That's
we almost jinxed each other right there. Yeah, I
yeah,
love that movie.
yeah.
You talking
Something
about the
about,
newer run, right? Like the
no,
2000s?
I'm
Oh,
talking about the 70s one. In the shopping complex, Dawn of the Dead. It's a sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
yeah.
That's an
I
original trilogy by George Romero.
yeah,
And I love Night of the Living Dead, even the black and white. I loved it. It
yeah.
was creepy as hell, terrifying as hell. And then the second one, it's slow zombies. They're not like these super quick one.
Yeah.
It's just got so much atmosphere, and even though the effects are a little bit outdated, it actually makes it scarier for me. You see them munching on. It's just terrifying.
You know, Cliff, I think it was just last, yeah, it was probably October when I watched, like, read and watch a lot of spooky stuff. It was recent that I finally, I'm like, I like all this, I'm getting into all this horror, and I'm trying to read and watch more of it. And I love zombies, so I have to try the original Walking, uh, Living Dead stuff. And I tried that first one. I finally sat down and tried that first one, and I couldn't finish it. It
What are you talking
was
about? Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, I guess that one's the call,
Yeah,
right? Where they're invading
we're
the
coming,
house.
yeah, and
Yeah,
we're coming to get you, Barbara.
yeah. I
I,
couldn't.
yeah,
I couldn't. It was like, it was so bad to me. It's very rare that I'll shut off a movie and won't finish it, but I did
yeah,
with that one because it was like it was so, they were so slow and so
yeah.
stupid, and I couldn't do it. So I never got to the second one. I don't. Maybe I should try the second one. I don't know.
The second one is in color and it's a bit better, but
Yeah.
it's actually one of my favorite movies ever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really, really, really old school.
Well, what about the one from the 2000s, that with the
I didn't
fast
see that.
movie? Oh, you didn't
No,
see that one.
no, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah.
See,
No,
that's like a favorite movie. Sorry, go ahead.
no, yeah, yeah. No, I just haven't got around to seeing a lot of the new
Yeah.
movies.
I watched, there's few movies, and now that I think about it, they all seem to be the same type. But there's a few movies that I can watch over and over again. You know, like Lost Boys is one of those movies. I
Ooh,
don't
I
know what
love
it.
that. We
Yeah,
both love that. Yeah, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie over the years.
And
Dawn of the
that theme,
Dead. Yeah, go ahead.
and that theme song.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
brilliant.
awesome. It's awesome. It's so
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah,
Very
Dawn of the Dead. Try the Dawn of the Dead. I
okay.
think it was.
That's a
Was it?
remake. It's a
It was.
remake. It's Dawn of the
Yeah,
Dead is it's a remake of the old one.
yeah. But
The
they're
old
like super
one.
fast moving. They're like super fast
Yeah.
moving zombies.
Mm. Yeah, you see, the thing about having these slow zombies, that
Yeah,
you get a lot more social commentary, and
yeah,
especially the fact that these people are trapped in this shopping complex,
yeah.
and you'll see the zombies moving around like this, looking at the clothes, like as if they got this kind of recognition in their head
Yeah.
that it's something of their lives that's there that they can't be part of anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's some scenes that are full of so much humor. Is the zombies trying to go up the down escalator and he keeps falling back, gets up again.
Yeah.
There's just little moments of comedy. And the worst, it's actual people that are in this trapped in this complex, shopping
Yeah.
complex. They're assholes. They're terrible people. And in
Huh.
some way, sort of, he's trying to show the worst of people, and these zombies are just being. It's very, very clever. All the social commentary and all the stuff that happens in the movie,
Hmm.
and it's also for me it's a lot more scary. It's not the speed; it's the fact that there's so many of them that they overwhelm you. If you get trapped, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
They're going to get a hold of your arm and start eating it. They're going to get hold of you eventually. Doesn't matter how slow they are; they're going to get you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Night of the Living Dead. Okay, it's in black and white. It's very dated. I agree with you. There's one scene. There's one scene. I don't know if you remember that scene or you stopped it before the scene. But there's a scene of this girl in the cellar, and a girl with her family trapped in the cellar, and she becomes a zombie. And she's eating her mother.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it another try. Maybe I'll give it.
Don't force yourself. It's not for everyone.
Oh, we can make a deal. I'll give that another try. You try the one from the 2000s.
Yeah, deal.
All right, deal. It's pretty like fast paced. I mean, if you like, fast paced, a lot of fast paced action, violence. It's
Oh, look,
pretty
I absolutely love. There's two movies that are modern zombie movies that I love. Okay, the one is slow paced zombies, but it's just hilarious. And it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And then the other one is not World War Z. Man, what's it? I'm thinking about. It's that group. They head to that fun park with the clown and the kids. And effing Murray. What am I talking about? Someone will tell me, I'm sure. Double tap. Zombie.
Oh, Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And the zombies there are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at some comments.
Yeah. Hey, Leslie.
How's it, Leslie? I know, I missed most of this. Yeah. I thought I watched you on. Is this thing on?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Eh? No, there was another show that I was on. It was with Greg from another Bibliophile Reads.
No.
And Alan. Yeah. Okay. I'm kidding about the coffee table being disturbing. I'll watch that. If I can find it, I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah, I think he watched it after I told him about it. It was yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, just do not read Thomas Harris. I have read it. Yeah. No. I actually didn't mind that. It's a different kind of thing. It's a serial killer.
Okay.
Right? This is like home invasions, where you just have random people attacking you in your home and torturing you. This is a serial killer. It's different. I don't know. There's something. You understand that how it's different?
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie as well.
I mean, I haven't read or seen it, but
yeah. Pan's Labyrinth, excellent. Yeah, it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I got to watch that one.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I bothered to bring it up because it didn't get hurt, so not like that. But it is something in your psyche, you know.
Yeah,
when
I can imagine.
When you get robbed like that, something stays with you.
Yeah. Black Summer. Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen that, Cliff?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. That was I really liked the first. I mean, I liked them both. I really liked the first season. So that's one of those ones. I mean, it's worth watching. It's one of those ones where it's kind of like the 2004 remake starts out the same way, where all of a sudden starts. So you see from the beginning when it first starts happening, and people are like, "What's going on?" and they're trying to escape. Yeah. Black Summer starts out the same way. You see it from the beginning, and and you follow a number of different characters as they're trying to escape, and they're initially escaping their own town, and it was pretty good. The second season was not as good, in my opinion. It was a little different, where it was kind of like it was more of like a Walking Dead sort of people on people thing, and it was kind of going like it's hard to explain, but it was kind of almost going like a flashback sort of thing, where you were getting pieces and seeing what happened previously, and also worth watching, but it wasn't as good. But I don't know if they must have ended. I haven't seen it for a while, so I guess I'm not doing anything. Black Summer. Yeah. Over here, I think it was on Netflix over here. So if you get
Netflix, yeah, I must look it up. That's one of the reasons why I rewatched the whole thing, because I can write down all ideas.
Yeah.
easier than doing it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
Pan's Labyrinth is great, but yeah, that scene is pretty chilling. Yeah, it is. It is very damn dark
Yeah.
what he does to this person. Uh, I love Night of the Living Dead. Thanks,
All
Leslie.
right. Same as that, the
Yeah,
people.
it's not for everyone though. Yeah, the people are the real monsters, and I think that's true of the first books. A lot of zombie movies that come later on doesn't have that same depth
Yeah.
in terms of Night of the Living Dead. It really is the people that are the monsters, and what happens at the end of the film won't say anything. That it really just reflects on society. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. So you would really like Walking Dead because
let's do it.
it's the
Yeah,
same thing. You know, they're slow moving zombies, and it's a zombie show that's not about the zombies. It's about how
people.
awful people can be and the things people are willing to do, and it's all about the human monsters.
Okay, then I must actually do that.
You know.
My favorite theme is that the people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing pretty damn good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you would like that.
Yeah. So tell you what, you try read. Sorry, you try watch the first two Night of the Living Deads again,
Okay.
or even the second one. The second one's in color, and it's
Good.
most people will say it's far superior to the first one.
Okay.
Because remember, things have moved on a bit since then, and I find it chilling. The second one I found particularly chilling, and then I will do the Living Dead. What's it called? The Living Dead.
It's called Dawn of the Dead.
No. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead. But I'm also going to watch the miniseries. It's The Living Dead.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead that everyone in the world except for me has watched.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this has been very, very cool, man. I must come on your show. I really want to be on your show.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we got to figure out a date. We soon. So I think the only one we have scheduled so far is Pat coming on in a few weeks. Gareth and I are both doing vacation, so she's coming on in a few weeks. But I think that's the only one on the calendar so far. So yeah, let's get you scheduled.
What time, South African time, do you normally do it?
South African time, we normally it's 12 p.m. Thursday nights 12 p.m. So
you start at like 5 or 6 in the evening and then carry on.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Gareth's time. Because he doesn't sleep. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like a vampire, that guy.
Yeah, he is. I've never. Leslie's never. Oh my god.
Oh, she hasn't. Oh, I'm so glad, Leslie. I'm not the only one. Yeah, I must watch it sometime. I know a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's very good. No, man, this was very cool, dude.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having us. This was a good time.
Pleasure to have both of you. Is she sleeping again?
Hey, you gotta say, no. You gotta wake up. You gotta say bye
bye. Yeah, she's gotta say goodbye. Say goodbye,
everybody.
Say goodbye.
So I got a lot of nice recommendations from you, and
Alicia says she hasn't seen it either. Hang on.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
I'm not the only one in the world.
Apparently not. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. No, well, I'm glad you got some good recommendations from you.
Yeah, definitely.
I should have given a couple of spicy recommendations for
Olive,
but I don't have any. No, man, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Let's stay a couple of minutes when we go out. So, just say cheers. Yeah. That's really great, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm sure you did enjoy it. I know I'm in trouble. I've not seen it either. Hey,
wow.
Looks like I'm not alone in the world. Okay, guys. Just want to say thanks to everyone that's been part of this chat. Bye, everyone. Thanks everyone who's been part of this chat. Really enjoyed having you here. We had a lot of fun. That was a seriously funny chat. And yeah, I'm going to probably watch the whole thing all over again right now. So I'll get down to some things. What's this? I'm excited. What the hell is that? Okay. Don't know what that is. Oh, trouble. Yeah. Okay, guys.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Cheers, man. Take care. In 3, 2, 1.